In this video, I'm gonna break down the new front wings from Indiana. It's their Dolphin series, and I've been using the Dolphin M and the Dolphin L in the last couple of downwinders, and I also used it for pumping to see how they pump. So let's get into it. If you stick around to the end, you actually might get a little coupon, a little 10% off your next purchase. So let's get into it.
Welcome to Matt on Foil.
All right, these two front wings, they are different in size, and I think they just scaled it up, maybe did a little tweaks here and there, but the Dolphin M, which is a smaller that I've used, they still go smaller, has a span of 925 centimeters and an aspect ratio of 9.5. So this was the small wing that I used, and you can see the form factor. It goes down to the sides and comes back just a little bit. It rolls super well, and this one I've used when it was big, when there were a bunch of waves on Lake Neuchâtel. So this one for turning, and if you're well powered and quite fast, it handles it super well. Now, with all these front wings from Indiana, you have the front part of the fuselage that is on the front wing itself. Here you have the tail and the stabilizer, and you have this saddle connection to the mast. You can use an aluminum or a carbon mast. I usually use the HM masts from Indiana, usually 85 centimeters, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the front wings. And just in comparison, what I usually use when I'm downwinding is this guy here. If we compare my go-to foil and its cousin, these are both L, so this is the Barracuda L, this is the Dolphin L, and let me just read the specs to you. We have 1050 of span in the Barracuda, 1013 on the Dolphin, so a little narrower. We have an aspect ratio of 9.5 with the Dolphin, 10.6 with the Barracuda, and the area is almost the same as well. Here we have 1050 square centimeters, and the Dolphin L has 1080 square centimeters. You can clearly see that the profile is different too, whereas the Barracuda on the bottom is straight in the middle and have these curved tips. The Dolphin curves down from the middle, and the tips are a little less pointed upwards as well. This foil here has a lower aspect ratio. It turns better than the Barracuda L. Why I sometimes still use the Barracuda L is because its pumpability is phenomenal, and the glide also. And I'm not a tight turner, you know that from my videos. I turn quite slowly as I'm older as well, so this one suits me very well. On the other hand, I want to get into turning a little sharper, and that's where these Dolphins come in. Now, I'm an ambassador for Indiana, so please take all the information I give you with just a grain of salt. But you know me from other reviews, I try to be as honest, as unbiased as possible. If you're concerned about people being biased in their reviews, check out the podcast I did with Nico and Gav, somewhere linked up here. Super fun conversation about unbiased reviews. This one is a little biased, but I'm still gonna be completely honest. So these foils turn super well. Now, as I own the Barracuda L already, and it is an amazing foil. I use that for dock starting as well. And stock starting, you can really do well on this one, even though it's a 1050 square centimeter foil, goes quite well. I tried to do the same with the Dolphin L, and the problem there was it's just that low end, which is just not as good as the Barracuda, and you have to pump it differently. And whereas you can just basically stomp on the front foot with the Barracuda and it transforms it into speed and lift, with this one you're just gonna stall it. So here you have to move your hip a little bit more to the front and turn it downwards and really give it more speed. So the Dolphins are a bit more technical to pump. That being said, if you know how to pump these, if you get into that motion, then you're gonna pump super well on those as well. And I especially need that because my bump reading skills are not top notch yet, maybe. So I still need to pump between waves. I just enjoy the wave or the bump, and I just lose track of where I am. Then suddenly I'm in a ditch and I need to pump to the next wave, so I need good pumpability. And these dolphins pump less than the barracudas, but they turn super well and they are fast. And if you are on top of the wave and just screaming down the wave, get super fast, they don't shoot you out of the wave. You're still very controlled. Now, the question obviously is, what do you pair these foils with? Let me just get those for you. Not in terms of board, but in terms of the glider itself. And usually I went with the small stab. This is the Condor S stab, 290 span and 110 area. Sometimes if I was just free riding, I took the bigger one. I took the Condor M with 155 centimeters. So these were the two stabs that I usually went with. If I was going for a free ride session, I took the long tail here, the MS tail, because MS you have 3 inserts and you have 2 positions for your stab. And if I was in the wave, I took the short one just for more turnability and more pitch axis. So these were the things that I used. Now, Indiana just came out with their monoblock stabilizers, and this is how they look. And this is actually with the new Dolphin S stab, and this is the whole tail, and this is all glued together. This is the stab, the Dolphin stab. This is the S stab with an area of 135. So this is something in between my Condors, but as you can see, it's pretty high aspect. The aspect ratio is 8.5, so 8.5. Compare these to the 7 or 8 aspect ratio of the Condors. So this is the Dolphin stab, and it looks phenomenal. So from behind you can see how it's curved down, exactly as you see it in the front wing. So both are curved down, but this one in the middle is kind of flat-ish, and on the sides it turns down, so it's just for ripping these waves. It looks phenomenal. I'm eager to get out. As for the length, they put it on the M tail, so it is kind of similar to the length of actually the longest length. So pitch wise, more stability, still super well roll. I'm excited about this. And this one is just so much easier. So you have 2 screws left, you don't have to put in, and this one is actually going to be packed quite nicely. I'm excited to get this tried because I've never tried that yet. So now let me talk to you how that session with this one went. So this is the Dolphin setup, Dolphin L, and the big stab. Speed is your friend. So that was a quick session with the Dolphin setup. Yes, you can use it for pumping, but you need a lot of speed to get going. Once you're on speed, this thing pumps well and it turns super well, but it's not for getting into dock starting. But other than that, works really well. So who are these dolphins actually for? If you have, like myself, a barracuda L, for example, then you don't need a Dolphin L. They're just too similar. Yes, the Dolphin turns a little bit better, but it's just too similar, I'd say. If you want to downsize though, have a smaller, a faster foil, then maybe downsize to a Dolphin. Same with upsizing though. If you have a Barracuda M and you want to upsize, maybe go for a Dolphin L because it turns super well and it is so playful. If you have a Marlin, for example, and you're winging and you want to get into downwinding and you want to surf the waves, then honestly the Dolphins, they just pump better, so they're more forgiving. So that's an advantage towards the Marlin or towards the Barracudas. Don't stay in the same area level though, really go for a smaller or bigger size, or you know, sell one and get another one. But having both, I think it's a little bit too much. But then again, that's just me. If you want to have a full car or you have a big car and a large wallet, then of course, you know, get whatever floats your boat. You didn't forget about the voucher, huh? So with the code MAT210X, you can actually get 10% off the whole Indiana site. So make sure to use that. See you in the next one.